Okay, stuck up, and today what we're going to be working on, this is part of the membrane telescope project, is the ring seal design. Now, what you may see below us is, of course, this is the substrate. So let me get that around a little bit. The substrate that we're going to be mounting this thing to, but what I need is some way to install the seal. So I got this seal. This is a 1/4 inch seal. It's got an 18-inch diameter. And of course you can tell I picked this off of Amazon, which is the weirdest thing to pick off of Amazon. But it's an 18-inch wide seal, and the top of the plate here is 18 inches wide, and the seal is 1/4 inch wide. So it's going to be, I don't know what that number is. This little piece here is going to be basically 9 1/4 inch out from the edge. So what I decided to do is get a little piece of PVC, and I'm going to cut first. I'm going to cut a little piece here for the seal to set into. Now we're looking at the cross section of this. This PVC actually is going to wrap, has an angle to it. It's a little bit of a bevel here, and that comes from, and that's a little handy, or maybe it's not handy. It might be better flat. But what's going to have to happen here now is that we're going to take a little piece of PVC, and this will get routed out. This will, the size, of course, 1 7/8 inch tall, and it's 7/16 inch wide. We calculate the angle, which is basically 7/16. The tangent of P is equal to inverse tangent, or P is equal to the inverse tangent of this is 13.13 degrees. So this angle here is about 13 degrees. The whole purpose of this thing is to hold the seal in place. That's all it does. And the purpose of the seal is to keep this, keep the piece of aluminum that's going to, or aluminized mylar that's going to go across here, about 1/8 inches off this plate. And so this has to be 1/8 inch deep. It has to be a 1/4 round piece, and I have one of those. So this part will get routed, this part will get sawed, and then the rest of it, it's a straight piece of PVC, so I'm going to have to heat it up, and for that purpose I bought myself a little heat gun, and the heat gun is to warm up the PVC and get it so that I can bend it. And of course I'm going to bend it around this, basically a base plate of our telescope. The PVC piece I have is about 3 inches, maybe 2 inches wide, so it has to be cut off here. And that's about 8 or 10 feet long, so it has to be cut off, here. And I don't want to do any of that in my house, so I'm going to have to move the whole operation outside for this part. This is the base for my saw. I'll just move this to the about even. Here to the mouthpiece to this. Just mount the table. This will hold it. It'll saw the base. There you go. Easier. Good job. Okay, well, maybe it's easier than I thought. Alright, well, I thought I had the 1/4 inch router bit that we need to make the cut into the PVC. A tiny little 1/4 inch, but apparently all of my router bits are 1/2 inch. They're not 1/4 inch, so now I've got to go find one and buy one. So, time for that adventure. The piece we're getting ready to make is this one right here, and it's made out of PVC. And the first part of making this piece is going to be to roll. We have an O-ring seal that sits inside here, and the first thing is going to be to cut this little groove right here. Now I said last time that we had to wait a while because I had to order a part. And last time actually I just said I don't have the piece, and of course I went out and I bought it. And I had to order this. And what you're looking at is, the name for this is called a core box. And all it is a rounded, it's going to cut this 1/4 inch, this little thing here. It's going to be here, cut this. The core box is installed in here. It's plugged in, and I've already made a preliminary run. And the thing I need to do is I've taken a piece of junk wood and just made myself a little cut here. Okay, so came back with my little handy dandy machinist roll. This is a little 6-inch jobby that I'm looking at, and it's usually pretty accurate. From here, you counts up to 64 thousandths if your revision is that good. Now the thing about a vernier caliper, a good vernier caliper, you get 3 ways you can measure. You can measure between the, I don't know what these are, maybe the tongs, I don't know. And then you can measure, you can do an outside measurement, an inside measurement, like that. But you can also go to the end, and you can do a depth measurement. That's what we're doing right now. I'm doing a depth measurement on this, and I want this to be 1/8 of an inch. And of course, a 1/4 inch is 250 thousandths, so this is going to be 1/8 is going to be half of that, which is 125 thousandths. So I'm going to push this down inside here and just get a measurement on it. Now the last time I measured about 80 thousandths, as you can see, this is about 76 thousandths. I want this to be 125 thousandths deep. So I'm going to have to come up a little bit on the blade. And I may or may not have room. I'm going to have to move this up. Hopefully this is locked in place. I really don't have enough room to get that big because there's no way I could have done this inside my shop in my house. It's going to be a test run. I'm going to just cut it a little bit off of here and see how that looks. Once again, I have my hearing protection. I have eye protection, but it's basically eyeglasses, but I still have eye protection. One of the problems I'm having is that this is such a long piece that the back of it is just flopping around like this, so it's really hard for me to hold it down. Okay, so you can see that I need to put a table or something. You know what would be really cool is some of those rollers. Actually, you know, as you can see, I'm having trouble holding this, so I'm going to have something that sits back here and sort of holds this in place. I was also wondering if this is through and through PVC, and it looks like it is. So, lawn chairs. Whoever thought they would come in handy for anything? Besides, you know, the garden party. Same thing over here. Only this one tried to move when the whole chair tried to move when I moved this across it. So I put some counterweight over here. Hearing protection. Eye protection I have wearing. Here's the piece we're cutting. I got to remember to select the correct edge. This is the edge that I just routed, and so I don't want to cut anywhere near that. And we want to make this cut here, this 1 7/8 inch cut. Okay, so I have changed out the blade on this thing. This is a 10-inch blade. Hearing protection. Be careful with it. Okay, so this one is going to be the most difficult cut of all. Okay, I didn't get a video of the final cut, but it's essentially this cut right here. And, of course, it appears to be mostly successful. I will need to clean up this edge over here. You see there's white dust everywhere. Okay, so we have retooled the table saw deck for the base, and reinstalled the router table on top of this. I have the roundover bit installed into the router. What we're doing is this piece right here, this cut right here. Okay, I think I have this right about where it can do the most good, and we're ready to go. It took a few tries, and I think finally what I've gotten. One of the problems doing it this way, I was cutting into the groove that's going to support the seal. Okay, so the last little piece before we start to wrap this thing is to get this stuff off of here. And I've got, this is a little razor blade, and I'm just kind of sliding it across here, taking off that little bitty edge that kind of hung on after we got done. Of course, the next step now is to, basically this has to go, as I said in the previous videos, it has to wrap around this guy right here. What I need to do is secure one end of it, bring it down close, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a hard wrap, that is, make it a little bit, wrap a little bit more than what it would normally be, so that when I pull it apart I can pull it and it'll snap into place. And then we're done, we'll use some silicone and seal up around here. I'll have to, of course, I'm going to have to cut off the ends and somehow get them to stick very close together. It's going to have to be a really accurate cut, very precision cut. And then I think the silicone will probably hold it, and I'll put something around there to keep it from coming loose. And then of course it's going to have to get something here to make it smooth, because like a paint, a hard paint, an enamel perhaps. Alright, I have no clue if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. See what happens. Try the heat. Bending, it's just not bending uniformly. Alright. Apparently some flaws in design. Okay, so the words I wanted to use for this were unmitigated disaster, but really I think the correct word is going to be minor setback. This is one of the problems I'm running into up against is that this, instead of folding in, when it got heated up, not only did this shrink. It's no longer 7/16 inch wide, it's now 3/8 inch wide, but also it turned inward this way, so that won't fold up against the side here. I'm still fighting with, even if it would have, to get it to fit, I would still be fighting with it over here to stay up. See, it doesn't want to stay up close to the concrete here. So, I wouldn't call it back to square one, but I would call it back to an unmitigated disaster. Well, minor setback. We have to come up with some other way to do this. It's Dr. Bob. Thanks for watching my program. If you like my videos, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day.